Is Ann coming today, or?
It's not.
Okay.
I forgot to message. Forgot to message Brad to see if he was.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 6:01. And we'll do a roll call. Scott?
Here.
Carolyn?
Here.
Brittany?
Here.
And John, I am here. Just track your committee of the whole and regular board meeting for next month is what? The
Oh, sorry.
The regular.
8th
Yep.
Yep.
of September is the committee of the whole.
Mhm.
22nd is the regular board meeting. We need to do our new board member oath. So how do we do this? She'll read this, or I just?
You'll read it and then, yeah.
Okay.
State your name.
All right. Carolyn? You stand and raise your right hand. I, Carolyn Gary,
I, Carolyn Gary,
having been elected or appointed to the office of Solon Springs School Board, but have not yet, you're supposed to repeat all this?
Yeah.
Okay,
needs to read.
all right, having been elected or appointed to the office of Solon Springs School Board,
I have been elected or appointed to the office of the Solon Springs School Board,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but not have yet entered upon the duties thereof.
swear or affirm
Swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of said office
of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay?
And then we can do the signatures afterwards.
Okay. All right. Okay, you're in. The Constitution is upon you. All right. Approval of meeting agenda. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the July board meeting. Get a motion for that.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Being none, the motion carries. And I'll go to treasurer's report.
Okay, beginning balance is negative $14,880.77. We had deposits of $485,711.17. Total expenses was $375,566.07, with an ending balance of $95,264.33. And the local government pool balance is $1,892,405.60.
Okay. And we need a motion as well for that?
The
Those are-
yeah, the
Okay.
treasury report and expenditures.
Okay, get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll motion. Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Expenditures. Leanne, anything in particular you need to want to point out, or?
I don't think there was anything particular in there that I recall.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
No, I don't. Anybody else? Okay, get a motion to approve the expenditures.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to approve expenditures. I'm assuming we'll have no one from student council tonight?
We don't. And the committee of the whole report, that's just the minutes from the last agenda.
Okay.
So,
Eagles Wings Charter School update.
the only thing to really update there is, working through their strategic planning process and, really starting to take a look at the committees and how they are operating in the future with getting more set structure in their meetings and looking at ways to define specifically roles and responsibilities between board members, staff, and other committees that they should have, so.
Okay. So now they are no longer operating on grant,
That is correct.
so all expenditures come out of the regular district budget.
Mhm.
How will that be working? We have,
Yeah, so there's not a huge amount of change in that, it's just, we don't have additional funds to buy things, so it would have to go through that process of them approving and then coming here for approval for expenditures.
okay,
The only thing that would be different is the fact that they have that capability of doing fundraising, and I know that was a big topic for them, as well as they need to increase their activity when it comes to fundraising, so.
right. So I assume too, one of the main components they had as a governance board was expenditure of grant funds and so on.
Right.
I'm, my own curiosity is, what is their role going forward now that they really no longer have approval function for finances?
It is, they will still be overseeing all of the charter schools and the programming and whatnot, and provide that oversight and recommendation to the regular board. When it gets into fundraising and expenditure of those funds from fundraising, they will have direct authority to spend those as seen fit, so.
Okay. So when I guess when unusual or out of the ordinary expenses come up, will that show up on the expenditure report, or?
Yeah, any expenses that they have, so they'll have, like the Montessori has a traditional, budget, classroom budget, like the other classrooms do now, so the Eagles Academy will also have that. So then anything basically beyond that is where the board will come in and have to say whether they authorize that or not.
Okay, and do you know how that's gonna come to us now? Will it just be a request,
Well, with those, I would assume that would just, I don't know if it would go to the governance board first and then to you guys, if they have bigger items. Again, the traditional classroom things, the Montessori, it hasn't been any different than the regular classrooms purchasing the items that they need for the classroom within their budget.
Right. The larger items would have to be approved by them and recommended to the board,
okay.
so.
I just wanna make sure that comes to our attention and that it's not kind of buried in an expense report somewhere.
It'll be,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the expense reports now, when Montessori buys things for their classroom, it's in that
Right.
expense report you get every month. So unless you're looking to see that it's the Montessori or the Montessori codes, you're probably not really.
Well, usually once it's in the expense report, that's money that's already been spent.
Right.
Yeah, so this is, we're
Right, if it's.
trying to get ahead of
above
it.
and beyond, right.
The actual expenditure. Okay. All right, anything else on that issue? Okay, then we'll go to the athletic director report.
So, Nate's report, just pretty straightforward, talking about the starting times, or starting dates rather, of the different fall sports. Notice that today was the start date for cross-country and volleyball. I know high school football started a couple weeks ago, and then we've got middle school stuff that will start here next week. Coaching positions, I know we have that on the recommendation transportations for Nick Adams for cross country. And then the golf scramble that is set for September 20th, which is the Fall Equinox Festival time.
Okay, and then I thought I saw somewhere, and I don't see it now in this report, but there was an issue of transportation.
Yep, we'll talk
to
about
school.
that.
That'll
Yeah.
come later,
Yep,
okay.
we'll talk about
All
that.
right, great. All right, principals report.
Okay. Pretty straightforward, just looking at, our enrollment. PLC planning, once again, PLC is professional learning community. We've got a team that has gone to our, what's called PLC at Work Institute, and they learn a lot about how to become more effective and efficient in instruction and teaching students, and really leading the charge to further increase our capacity to provide great instruction for students. So we started this last year, and we're going to continue that process in the future. We get a fair amount of support from CISA 12. It's all part of a grant with the implementation zone grant. So looking for more great things to happen this year. So
Okay. Enrollment.
Yeah.
That number is correct, we're at 264 total? Or am I reading
I gotta-
that wrong?
No, you read that stuff.
So
I gotta do
that's-
that. I gotta do the math on that. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a drop
That-
of over about 50
right.
students from last year. We graduated 13.
Right. No, I know, thank you for bringing that up. No, I will have to look at the numbers here, because I don't think that's accurate,
Okay.
Linda, so we'll take a look at it too, so.
Did you add them together?
The, yeah, we'll take a look at that. so.
Okay. All right.
Last time I looked, it was 308.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was not much of a change.
So the 264 is one column. The 128 is the other, so you need to add those together.
Well,
No.
there is a Montessori column in the left hand.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, we'll get that. correct
Okay,
number, so
okay.
I don't wanna confuse anything or give false numbers there, so.
All right.
Anyway, PBIS team, they're planning on meeting tomorrow, continuing to work on how do we help students be more successful when it comes to interactions and behaviors, and that team is focused on that fact, so they'll be meeting tomorrow. Safety team, we met last week, and one thing we're looking at doing is we're transitioning from ALICE to what's called Standard Response Protocol. ALICE, the reason why we're doing this is ALICE is very specific to just threats to the building, like intruders, etc. Versus the Standard Response Protocol, it's ALICE and all the other responses, because in our community, we should be prepared for hazmat responses. We should be ready to respond to other threats or other things that could impact the district. So it's just more encompassing, so. And then upcoming events was listed. It's hard to believe we're kicking off
We're
next
close
week.
to 0.
That is correct.
What time is the open house?
4 to 6. So, should be a great time.
We are or are not encouraging board members to attend the open house, or?
I would love to have board members there. Absolutely, more the merrier, so.
If you can make it, come. If you can't, you can't. All right. Superintendent report.
Excellent. All right, so a couple different things that taking a look at. So the long anticipated response to the equipment grant Yes, we did not make the cut for the USDA equipment grant. I'm not sure how the recent political atmosphere has changed that, or if it had any impact whatsoever. Anyway, Lee and I have been talking about this scenario prior to getting that response, and trying to make sure that we build this into the budget as far as taking care of that dishwasher, because I don't think it's in our best interest to provide hope as a plan for it, so, anyway.
Okay, and that was 14,000 ballpark?
It was at that time. I'm not sure if tariffs have had a major impact on it or not, so we'll reinvigorate this conversation and see where things sit, so.
Okay, and are we looking at a timeline when we need to get this replaced, or?
What we would have to do is try to find a time that would work well within our schedule. So I think the next best opportunity would probably be during that Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
Because then that allows us, a 3-day window to try to get things taken care of without students. All right. Next one, our face or fax. I don't know, it seems to change. It used to be home ec, now it's fax, it used to be face. Anyway.
But they're interchangeable.
It
Fax
is, pretty much, yeah.
fax.
So anyway, so Amanda Tormson, she's been working pretty closely with Catherine Krenz, is it Lacey?
Let's say.
Lacey, all right. I don't know, she knows Leanne pretty well. I don't know, she had some stories to tell. Anyway, she came in and provided a lot of input as far as what the classroom should look like, and offered her wisdom and experience to help guide Amanda, so, and is willing to kind of mentor Amanda along the way here, so it's great. I know we've got an order in for a number of different things, and we've got a scope and sequence already designed. Amanda's come up with that along with Catherine. Scope and sequence for instruction. We've been getting our sewing machines up and running, as well as getting all the necessary equipment for food prep and whatnot, so.
Okay.
It's going well there. All right, next one.
That's where I saw it.
Yes, football athlete transportation. So the season began a couple weeks ago, and students are not receiving transportation from the district prior to the academic year. It's just we don't offer transportation as a general rule. What's happened with other sports is the coach that's employed by the district provides transportation. Well, in my time here, every year we've advertised for a football coach for the district. 0 takers. So now this creates that situation of how do we deal with this transportation of students that are coming here? Is it the expectation that they go directly to Northwood, where that's, I would say 95% of the practices are located there. Once school begins, we provide that transportation after the school day to Northwood. So, I mean, we have it then, but we're talking about the time in between, or that from start date to start of school date.
It had been
So.
talked about previously. I couldn't find any of my notes as to when, but they had decided at that point, because of any other times when we don't have a school, that if we have a practice, the parents have, need to get their kids here, or wherever practice is being held, the ball fields. So this would be football, with not being during the school year, had been looked upon as the same thing. So when school is in session, the kids are here, then we were transporting them down. When school wasn't in session, then the parents needed to get the kids to a building for practice anyhow, so whether it be here or Jemima.
So how are they doing it now? just individual parents taking
Well,
students to?
we do have a parent that is using a school van to take students down. So he's
Okay.
coordinated some of that stuff, so.
Is that a workable solution to keep doing that?
We can, it gets into that question is, do we look at this as just a volunteer thing, and if no one else volunteers, well, it's on them? Or do we have to look at something else? And this question came up. If we had budgeted the coaching cost, which would take care of the transportation, there's funds that are already allocated to, deal with this transportation. I guess it's coming to that question. What's our choice in this matter? And obviously, we're not gonna take action right this instant, but is this something that we should look at?
Well, I mean, this is a district function.
It is.
Directly. Yeah, I mean, I think if parents or whatever are able to get their kids here, then we should provide transportation from here to Northwood and back. That makes perfect sense, using a district vehicle.
Mhm.
So, are you talking about the driver being compensated, or just, we'll say, well, we'll let you use the van as long as you're not
It's
volunteer, or?
right, so I look at it as, is it a compensation thing with that driver? Because once again, if we hired a coach, that coach would be here, pick up students using the school vehicle and transport them.
Yeah,
We just don't have a coach,
right.
so.
And the thing with this would be too, because it's not a coach, then Mark has brought up, okay, so if we are paying somebody to transport, then he needs to put it to his drivers first.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because that's part of their extra duties that they can earn extra funds from,
Okay.
so they need to be offered it first before we offer it to, it's different when we have an actual
Yeah.
coach. It's
Well, I
taken
mean, I'm
out.
fine with that, they're already presumably licensed, and so if one of them volunteers to do it, being compensated, that's probably fine, and if they're unable to, then I think, yeah, we have to take the next step. But if we are going to provide that, it makes sense that we provide compensation to the driver as well.
Okay. All right.
Does anybody else have any feelings on that one way or another, or?
I think if someone's doing it, it would be better to have them, like, actually on the books for it, where we have that control to make sure they're insured and covered for all the things, and get that little bit of compensation, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So, okay.
Alright. So that's something
Appreciate
we'll
your thoughts. Yeah, I
take up
I
for
think,
next year, I mean, we're not gonna be able
we can figure something out for right now, but I think we want this formalized.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Okay.
so what do we, I mean, are we gonna backtrack? I probably need to know that are we gonna backtrack for what's been done so far, or move ahead for next year?
I think it's moving ahead for next year, so. 'Cause I think it's a kind of a slippery slope right now if we try to backtrack on something and
yeah.
try to change up stuff, so. All right, and then the last one, so Market and Johnson, they're planning on they have a team that's coming in on Friday to begin the building evaluation process. And then they're gonna plan on being in the district next week as well, as needed, so, anyway.
Do we have an idea of what they're going to put out for a preliminary flyer? Since, I mean, they haven't done the eval yet, so.
Yeah, it's more of just providing information on what this entails and timeline for potential referendums, whether it's April of '25 or November of '25,
Okay.
So,
All right. Anything else on update?
no, sir.
Okay. Move to the public comment section, seeing no one in the room that's not in the general public. Go to the next item. Personnel recommendations.
Yeah. We have two recommendations. One, pardon me, Stephanie Potter as bus driver. This is replacing Marv Benedict. As far as that hiring, and that's recommended by Mark Dahlberg. And then Nick Adams as the cross-country assistant coach, replacing Shannon Dickinson, recommended by Nate Alberg.
Do we know Stephanie's licensure?
You know.
She's ready to roll, or?
Yes, last year she was working on doing her, taking her classes and doing her training, so she's got her
Okay.
license now. And she also drove, I believe, in Two Harbors. She drove years as a school bus driver
She-
out there.
she did,
And
yes.
they're living out in the area here now.
Okay, great. Okay, donations.
None for the record.
Do we need to approve those hires?
Yes, we do.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Opposition, the motion carries. Student handbook updates.
So I know Ann presented the proposed changes. I think the only thing that would still require the update is just the positions, because we have bus driver and Board of Education, which those two are now filled, so that would be the only additional piece.
And elementary, any, same?
Same.
Can I get a motion to approve both handbooks?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries to approve the student handbook updates. Spanish teacher shared service. I think I have a different document on there.
Oops.
I think this will be
Yeah.
in
They're switched.
No, I put.
No, they are, okay, yeah.
I put the wrong one in there, sorry about that. I will put it in ASAP here, so. So the agreement, I apologize, I looked at the same thing here, so.
Do we need to refresh, or how do we? Let's
Yes,
just
you
pop
will,
in.
so.
Okay.
In just 1 second. Golly.
There you go.
Okay, does everybody have it?
Yep.
The only update I have is that we were able to work through the school days and the times, because Northwood starts 3 days ahead of us, but we were able to figure out days that Mr. Bass will be present here and present there and still maintain his contract.
Okay. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at this. I believe we reviewed it at the committee meeting. And if everybody's had a chance to take a look at it, we'll take a motion to approve the shared services agreement.
All motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, okay, and we approve the shared services agreement. And now we can move on to social media guidelines.
Once again, with the previous meeting, we talked about the different sites and separating those two. But I just wanted to make sure that we had officially approved the social media guidelines.
No other changes?
No other changes.
Alright. Entertain a motion to approve the social media guidelines.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
I wanted to ask about, avoid comments that may be degrading towards players, coaches, teams, and spectators. Avoid is kind of like, well, you shouldn't, but
Okay.
like, is there, I mean, I understand, no, like, you don't
Right.
degrade other, like, that's,
If we want to have a language change to it, change avoid to something else, I mean, we can certainly do that and still approve it with that change.
okay.
What paragraph are you
Yeah,
looking at?
I'm looking for it right now.
Posting guidelines, second page.
Under the sports bullet.
And this falls under interviewing students, coaches, or whomever?
Yep.
So what are you thinking instead of avoid, like
I don't know,
prohibit, or?
because you could, I mean, you could just be celebrating a win and you're not meaning to be degrading towards another team, but yeah, we kicked their butt, like, you know, is that, you know, I don't know.
Probably some gray area there
Right.
too with that, you know.
Well, it didn't
But-
say that we couldn't.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's what's-
Prohibit.
I mean, that's the only other word I was thinking of.
Yeah.
you know.
And does that fall under for like the live YouTube broadcast too?
So, you bring up an interesting point because the school district does not have a live YouTube feed. And that's where, getting into some of the discussion about what is district and what is not, and that use of district caricature, logos, et cetera, that it clearly needs to state that it's not a district site. So that's part of this as well.
Right, but we can still direct it toward district employees and students.
That is correct.
Regardless of the platform.
Yes, but I will say that we can only take action on our platforms only, if that makes sense. We're saying that as a district, this is what we're promoting, is we're not doing this.
Right.
But if it's something that the district does not operate, maintain, and manage, I will say, all we can do is say, please don't do that, if that makes sense. So,
Okay. Well, then a more gray area of use of avoid might make sense. I mean, if it's,
right.
we don't have direct control other than prohibiting someone from being on any other non-district channel or media.
I think this is direct control over like our
Mhm.
media, but like some of those other,
Well, we don't have, I mean, we don't broadcast anything, we don't really conduct interviews. I mean, it really is non-district.
In that sense, I
Yeah.
will say, have we had district stuff where, or district posts and whatnot that have had interviews? Yes.
Yeah.
So.
That would
It's
go
just-
on the athletic page,
Yes.
like Facebook page,
Or
video that would be posted there.
It could be there, or,
Yeah.
or if it's something really significant, I mean, we would post it on the main. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the verbiage on page 4 is not tolerated for the
Cyberbullying,
cyberbullying.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm just like, if we don't have complete control over it, I guess we can't really say it's not tolerated. Like, it's not the same. Am I understanding this correctly? It's not the same.
Could we say something like comments that are degrading towards players, coaches, teams, spectators will not be allowed or tolerated?
Right,
Or, you know, something like that.
So,
Like,
we.
what kind of backlash
Right.
do we have?
but I think with like this, if it's like our Facebook page, we do have control of it, cause we can, there could be a stop saying, if it's in there, it's not being posted.
Right.
Okay.
Where if it's some of the other like direct sport pages that aren't the schools, that's where we lose that control that Pete was talking about.
I see. Okay.
So I guess, it's still in, discussion phase. If it's so chosen that, we're gonna change the verbiage, we can go back and, amend the motion with the verbiage that is agreed upon, so.
Okay. So table that for now? Or go ahead, or, sorry.
No, we can certainly, go back,
We'd have to
with.
vote it down.
What's that?
We'd have to vote May and then go back and
Or an
remake a
amended
motion.
motion.
You can amend your motion to include that verb change.
So,
Can I do that?
yeah, so just make a motion with the recommended change in the language, and then,
So you're amending your motion to include
Right.
language.
So I will make a motion to approve the guidelines with changing the verbiage, avoid comments to comments that may be degrading towards players, coaches, teams, and other spectators will not be tolerated.
I get a
I think there's a
second.
couple instances where that same thing is repeated.
Anywhere where it says
Anywhere where
avoid
that fits in.
comments.
Okay. Got that down?
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay.
Brittany.
Brittany? Okay.
Who's got the second?
Brittany, yeah.
Brittany.
Yep.
All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed?
Good catch.
Okay, no further discussion, that is approved. Next item is graduation requirements.
once again, this is policy 5460, which we currently have, but it's adding the language of the in lieu of PE credits that we worked through last month, so.
Okay.
And all of the green is the recommended based on the process that was previously approved, so now it's going to be in
Final
policy.
approval.
Right.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the policy?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion to approve the updated graduation requirement is passed. Okay, next item is board retreat results.
It's just a recap of what came out of that meeting, and thought it was a very fruitful conversation, I guess, just looking for more feedback. This is something that, and we talked about the timing. You know, if we are doing this on a yearly basis, I guess locking in, what does that look like if we're gonna do this in, I think what was mentioned was potentially February, coming back and doing that because it gives us an opportunity to go over new information and practices and whatnot that we learn at the state convention, so.
I also think there was a benefit for like me, having that be like my first introduction, because there was a lot of information and it like kind of made it a little bit easier coming onto the board, especially, you know, so whether it was like April when there's no elected members, if it doesn't work for, you know, the February timeframe.
Right. And this is something that, I guess it can be an ongoing, there's nothing saying that you can't have more than one. I mean, so, you know, one big thing that Wisconsin Association of School Boards talks about is onboarding of new board members and what's the best practice. And is doing something like a retreat a good way of, you know, onboarding a new board member? I mean, it's an option, so I mean, it's something we can really look at. But I think having that opportunity to really take a look at our strategic plan and our mission and vision and see where we're heading and making sure that we're staying on course. I think it's a good idea for the board to, you know, do an azimuth check, make sure we're heading in the right direction here, so.
No, I think doing it on an annual basis makes sense. Trying to target it to when we onboard someone, then it's gonna have to be a fluid date, because we never know when someone resigns. If everybody waited till the election cycle, that'd be great, but I've yet to see that.
No, I would agree. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it could be an option as
Yeah.
far as that onboarding process, but if we maintain a yearly time in that February timeframe, I think it gets into a routine and some consistency,
Yeah.
and it's also that opportunity for, like I said, the board to do an azimuth check on what our direction is and make sure we're heading in the right direction, so. Outstanding.
Okay. No further business, we can move into closed session. Pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851C, to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, we'll move into closed session, and people need to take a break for a minute. Take a break.